There are few things in life that can truly bring us together. Few things that can lift us to our feet and bring us to our knees. Few things that can be analyzed, internalized, socialized, even spiritualized. It gives us identity. It gives us purpose. It makes us believe. There's nothing better. To the sickos, the diehards, the supporters, the hooligans, to the rowdiest, the most obsessed, the fans. For us and all those like us, it will always be sports over everything.
Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Welcome into the post-game show. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Greg Boysen. Chloe Thiel's running the show. Mario is at the United Center. You may have noticed our intro we played today. We are kicking off our new slogan at ALLCITY, Sports Over Everything. We're focusing on what brings us together, our teams, our sport, our city, and we're also introducing ALLCITY, our umbrella initiative for all of our charitable involvements, including our work with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. So welcome, Blackhawks Over Everything, as Lebowski points out in the chat, and the Blackhawks certainly over the Blues tonight, and ass-whooping 7-3 over that Putz, Jordan Binnington, Team Canada's goalie. Enjoy that. Maybe they can go bronze at the World Juniors and at the Olympics.
They ain't getting maybe they should call Connor Bedard.
Perhaps. Yeah.
I had said, I forget who I was talking to at Blackhawks practice yesterday. What happened? Why was I cut off? Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, he's there now.
All right. Anyway, as I was saying, I was talking to somebody about that at Blackhawks practice yesterday, and I said, I don't think Jordan Binnington will be their number one goalie by the time it gets to the elimination round.
No. He sucks.
He sucks. And another thing.
I'm sorry. There you go.
You said it earlier, and I totally agreed with you. Remember all those Blackhawk fans that were just so upset that the Blackhawks didn't fire Luke Richardson and immediately get Jim Montgomery? How's that looking right now? Blackhawks jumped over both the St. Louis Blues and Nashville Predators in the standings and will be 2 points out of a wild card behind whichever team loses tonight between the Kings and Sharks, which will likely go to overtime, so both teams get a point.
Of course. That's how it works.
Yeah. But anyway, good stuff.
But the Hawks, points in 6 of their last 7. They've won 4 in a row. They're 4-2-1 without Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar. They are 5-1-1 since the break. They are undefeated in the new year. Other than that, things are going terribly. I mean, look, this is so impressive. And I don't like to give voice to the super negative people that come in here after every loss. But when Connor Bedard went down and Frank Nazar went down, there was a good portion of our chat and of our interactions on Twitter that said they're not going to win a game until these guys are back.
Yeah, it was fire Kyle Davidson because he didn't have a plan B. This team's not deep enough to win without those two guys. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, nobody had a very positive outlook.
Yeah, no one saw this coming.
But nobody figured this. Whatever the Christmas break did for these guys,
yeah,
it's been working. What are they? 4-1-1 since returning from the break.
5-1-1.
5-1-1. They're just playing confident hockey. They're playing simple hockey. Tonight was all about the depth scoring. It wasn't, it wasn't Tyler Pertuzzi scoring all the goals. It wasn't Teuvo Teravainen. It was Landon Slaggert and Louis Crevier and Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson. Guys you need every once in a while to step up and score some goals to win games, especially after Bedard comes back, which could be as early as Friday.
It sure sounded like it from Panger.
And hats off to the power play. I'm sure we'll break down that a little bit, but special teams was so important tonight with the Blackhawks killing off all 4 penalties against. They gave up 3. They had 3 penalties in the first period after giving up 3 penalties in the last 3 games combined.
Yeah.
Killed them off, including a lengthy 5-on-3. 3 power play goals for the Hawks tonight. They were 1 for 18 on the power play immediately following Connor Bedard's injury. They are now 7 for 14 since that 1 for 18 stretch.
Crazy.
That's damn good. That pass Oliver Moore made to Nick Lardis tonight. Just
don't look at that, Chloe.
That's beautiful. I mean, that is exciting stuff right there. And anytime the Blackhawks win is fun, but anytime they beat the living crap out of the St. Louis Blues, it's even better. And then they need to play the Blues on TNT every game.
That'd be great.
What are they?
I sign up for that.
They've beat them 15-6 in their 2 games on TNT. So it's a lot of fun, and Connor Bedard should be back here in the next game or 2. Frank Nazar is probably still another week or 2 away, but get those guys back in, and these guys kind of figured out how to do the little things to win games. Hopefully that continues. You got a chance to head into this Olympic break in a really good spot, in a spot nobody predicted you'd be in the start of the season.
No,
and definitely nobody predicted after Connor Bedard went down.
Absolutely,
this season was all over. I mean, we even said, hey, results don't matter right now for the next couple of weeks. It's about seeing some of these kids step up and play. Well, no, we lied. We were wrong. We will admit when we're wrong. The results do matter because they're playing so well right now.
And you're right. And it is the kids, but as you said earlier too, it's the veterans stepping up. And this is losing Bedard and Nazar. This team had every excuse to tuck its tail and fold. No one would have blamed them if they fell into last place in the NHL. You lost 2 of your best players. You're already kind of on the way down.
And
before
they were there for about a day.
And then
thank you, Jets.
You have to learn. Teams have to learn how to battle through adversity. This is the biggest test that this team has gotten since the rebuild began, truthfully. And they have answered the bell time and time again. Even the Pittsburgh game where Spencer Knight was bad.
Right.
He'd tell you that. Jeff Blashill said it in so many words. It happens to every goalie in the league. Ask Jacob Markstrom. It happens, right?
Too soon.
But even in that game, they were there. And you've got balance in the lines. You've got balance in the minutes. You've got balance in the scoring. And this team gives up a goal 27 seconds into this game. They were like, fine, whatever. We're going to take it to them. And then they get 2 penalties early on, right? And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. This team, the Hawks were so much better than the Blues tonight in every facet of the game. At no point did I look at this and say, even when it was, the Hawks go up 2-1, then it's tied. It's like, all right, the Hawks are in control of this. And there was no panic after going down 27 seconds in. I love the battle this team is showing. And whether it results in a playoff spot, whether it results in a lottery pick, whatever, this is the stuff you want to see. These are the sort of things, like you said, regardless of what the record was going to be this year, you wanted to see this group of players become a team. And nothing against these guys, but you get rid of the Pat Maroons, you get rid of the Alec Martinez's, the Taylor Halls, these guys that were there to build a bridge for the rebuild to make you just be an NHL team.
Hit the floor.
Now you've got guys, you've got Foligno expiring, you got Dickinson expiring, and Murphy. You're not worried about those guys showing up and playing every night. Those 3 guys are warriors. They're going to show up. They're invested, right? This team has responded and they've shown up, and it is awesome to see. There's got to be so much pride from Hawks fans today, seeing what they saw tonight and seeing, frankly, what they've seen since the holiday break ended.
Yeah, I mean, this one was a little more fun. The Blackhawks, not a great first period. A lot of that was because they spent so much time shorthanded, but the second period they were fantastic. And then they kept at it in the third period. Following that Vegas game, I think that Vegas game is going to be a game that we look back on even like years from now when this team is really rolling and going, that's a game where the guys that are still here and contributing really learned what Jeff Blashill's been preaching about. Yep. When you don't have your A game, you still find a way to win. That game, to me, was the most impressive win of the season just by how that game was played and how they won. They hadn't done that yet this season.
Yeah.
And then you come out tonight and you just, you own the Blues, and it's you beat a team that the last time you played, you lost Connor Bedard. I know there are probably some fans that were kind of hoping Braden Shen caught a little something, got a receipt cashed in.
He did. He got a 7-3 loss.
Yeah, that's the best way to get revenge. I mean,
yeah.
And this is just, it's rolling, it's momentum, and now it's only going to get better because you're going to get Bedard back, you're going to get Nazar back. Hopefully those guys fit right in. I think they're good enough to where, they'll adjust to whatever the game plan is. I think Jeff Blashill's a smart enough coach to where he's not going to screw with anything. Even when those guys are back, he's going to tell them to keep playing. This is the way he wanted them to play with those guys.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like he's going to go back to playing some Harlem Globetrotter pond hockey when Connor Bedard comes back. This is how he's wanted this team to play since day one. It just took them some time to figure that out. It took them losing their top two centers to figure it out. Now you throw in your top two centers back and you still play like this. This is going to be a team down the stretch that nobody wants to play.
And look, you could probably make the argument that they have been that all year. They're a team that can jump up and get you. They've got more skill than they get credit for. And now you're about to add Connor Bedard. It sounds like Friday, if you listen to what Darren Pang is saying, and Panger is as plugged in as anybody. It's going to be interesting to see how they line up. We'll deal with that on Friday. But you want to see what you were saying, Greg. You want to see this simple, straight ahead, winning hockey. The thing that Jeff Blashill has said since the first time he spoke as Blackhawks head coach, winning hockey, the way you play. You win puck battles. You win board battles. You don't fly by. You stay and you check and you play in all three zones and you play committed and you make smart decisions. And those are the things we're seeing. Now and again, in the course of every game, you're going to see a player or two go, they got away with that one. Fine. But more often than not, there's a play in this game. Levshov gets the penalty, comes out of the box. This is on the 5-on-3. Back lifts the stick, right, and then has the temptation to go into the offensive zone. And instead, peels back, kills time, and they dump the puck. They ice the puck on the penalty kill because he knows we still got a lot of penalty time to kill. I'm not going to put the team in a bad position right now. I probably have an opportunity to score, but it's early in the game. I'm not going to make a critical bad decision right now that's going to cost the team. Those little things that you do for 60 minutes, those decisions, those smart plays, those unselfish plays that sometimes young players, coach the junior out of them, as Derek King said, you're seeing these small, minuscule lessons pile up into a 60-minute game, and you have what you have tonight.
Those are the plays that when you add them over and over and over again, equal winning, consistent winning hockey.
Yes.
And those are the plays that this coaching staff has been trying to get these guys to make. And this is what having a real NHL coaching staff is like.
Yeah.
And listen, I was a big Luke Richardson fan. I
Great
love
guy.
the hire.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a good head coach one day when he figures out his shortcomings, much like Jeff Blashill did. Jeff Blashill admitted he did some things wrong in Detroit and then took those 3 years in Tampa to kind of get pulled back a little bit and see those things and realize those things. Now learning from John Cooper for 3 years, that helps too. Yeah. But the Blackhawks are now benefiting from all of that. So having this staff, you know, a guy like Michael Pekka, his influence on this team has been amazing with the faceoffs.
Yeah.
Blackhawks won 61% of the faceoffs tonight, but the defensive help as well. You know, Mike Vellucci has done a really good job with the power play this year. And, you know, you got Anders Sorensen, who's in charge of these young defensemen who are improving, who are better today than they were when the season started. So it's just where this team was on December 23rd after that loss to the Philadelphia Flyers, where they are now is remarkable, and it's fun and exciting.
All right, we got to hit the break zone. Do us a favor, hit the like button. We should be at 200 when we get back, so Noodle Man will be activated. Real quick, game pucks, just pick somebody. Oliver Moore for sure, right?
Sure.
Connor Murphy, first goal of the season, 2 points, +2, 4 block shots. Let's give one to Connor Murphy. And I think Spencer Knight gets one too. Spencer Knight made some huge saves when the game was close. Yep. And when the Blues did get a little bit of momentum, he snuffed it out real quick. So let's go Knight, let's go Moore, let's go Murphy, and get those votes in. We are going to talk about Glenn Hall, who passed away today. I was able to catch up with Blackhawks historian, longtime PA guy, Harvey Wittenberg, in his 66th year with the Blackhawks. Gave me a few minutes on Glenn Hall. We're going to play that. A ton to get to. Hit the like button. Talk to you in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Wouldn't that be great? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And the best part, no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. This offer is available for select plans only, and we want to let you know that restrictions do apply. And winter is here. Is your home's heating holding up? Are you cold upstairs? Well, you need to call our friends at Four Seasons for your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. If you're thinking about a whole home generator, they've got you covered as well. At Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Now you can save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Furnaces start at $39 a month. Furnace AC combos from $57 a month. Call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric has been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com to take a look at all their special offers and money-saving coupons. Once again, that's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. Get your furnace up to snuff this winter. And a Noodle Man has awoken. Thank you for the likes. Keep them coming. Every 100 likes, we turn on Noodle Man. Love him. The dust is shaking off. He was laying there in his corner for a long time, for a little while.
Yeah,
so it's
he
good
had
to have
a very
Noodle Man
lonely
back
Christmas, but it's good to see him back in action. He's had to do a lot of yoga lately to keep up all this twisting and turning, but good for him.
Yeah. So thanks for the likes. We appreciate that very much. And the Joel Hofer memes are rolling out. If you missed it during the game, him peeking around the hallway.
I'm not going out.
Not
there.
wanting to come in. Jordan Bennington also waving off the coach, and there's our own Adam Hogue from CHGO Bears with the what's that guy's name again? Ryan Pace.
Yeah.
Ugh. Remember that guy?
I don't.
I have a fun Ryan Pace story. Should I share it? When I knew the Bears,
your only chance.
when I knew the Bears were doomed, we were at Bears camp in Bourbonnais. I think it was Ryan Pace's last season.
Bourbonnais.
And he's like, Bourbonnais. He is not quite the same vibe. He's like corralling his children.
Let's go hiking in
And
Bourbonnais.
he had no control on his kids. He was like picking them up. They're like, no! like kicking, screaming. I'm like, oh god.
To be fair, another
This
show.
guy is.
To be fair, that was probably like the first time you saw them in like 3 months.
I don't care.
They don't even know.
No,
that
it was
their dad.
it was training camp. He had the whole summer with those kids, and he had no control on his kids, which made me lose a lot of faith
That was
on
a perfect summary of his time here in Chicago. No control of the kids.
No control of the kids. Anyway, get your votes in for the game puck. Interested to see how this one will go. We're gonna feature somebody else in the frat house too. Is Connor Murphy ready? Let's go. Connor Murphy is in the Hawks locker room. Mario sent this in a few minutes ago.
Nice was it to kind of get control of it?
It was nice. Honestly, not good to take the penalties, but I think our penalty kill gave us some momentum at the start of it and allowed us just to get to our game. Honestly, some of these home games, our first few shifts have been a little ugly, but it was nice that we were able to string more together and get on a roll some scoring.
Top 3 PK in the league now. It's working so well.
Chemistry, I think, is one. Good goaltending, and then momentum. I think when you get kills, when you can get some in a row, you kind of just build a little bit of flow. And then our pairs and our forward lines are healthy on the kill right now. And when you have that consistency and chemistry between the forwards and D, you're able to kind of string some kills together. And like anything, you still give up some chances, and that's why we have a great goalie that's able to keep those pucks out and keep the percentage good.
You've gotten some good performances by some of these younger guys another night where you've got the Lardis, Moores, and everything coming through, and how encouraging is that?
Yeah, it's kind of been the difference since Connor's been out, I think, looking for other scoring and for those guys in that line to be stepping up and to look like they're getting more confidence, moving the puck and skating and finding open areas in the power play and off the rushes through the neutral zone, getting into their end. So it's fun to see them grow their game and confidence in the NHL, and they have that speed and agility to be able to find pockets, and it's a hard thing to defend, so it's working for them right now.
Did it feel to get your first goal of the year?
Yeah, it's nice. It's not happening too often, so it's always fun to get one, and even for the D, for Lou to get one and have a couple of good shots for assists. It's fun to contribute, and especially at home, it felt like it was a great crowd. And surprisingly, on a late Wednesday night, it's cool to see everyone coming out, and it was a loud one.
What's it like to have this winning streak right now? Things are working all together.
Feels nice. It's big. I think this time of year, we say that I guess all year, but in January especially, we have that long break in February. So to string momentum, and it's a tough kind of condensed schedule in this month. So for us to have a lot of home games, I think is an advantage, and we really need to make sure we have a sound game to try to climb up the standings and get wins in a row and give ourselves more confidence and get healthy. So it's fun to win any time of year, especially when you get closer to the break and deadline. It's really important.
What did you guys do over Christmas break, 5-1-1 cents?
Oh yeah, over Christmas break, the same as everyone did, I guess. Celebrate, eat too much food, and come back. And yeah, it's fun to see. I think we're playing a lot of games right now, so it just gets you into the flow of just showing up to play, and guys are buying into playing a simple game and following the coach's game plan each night to try to get wins.
7 different goals from 7 different people tonight. Do you think that fluidity is important to keep going for the Hawks?
Yeah, it's big, especially with, like I said, with Connor out. And then our top guys have still been doing that. Bert and Berkey and guys have still been contributing consistently. But to be able to win, you got to be able to get a lot of nights, 3 or 4 goals at least. So for us to kind of take off that way tonight was great. And we hope that gives confidence to the group that we keep some sound defensive game, but we can get some momentum going offensively.
How have you seen Louis grow offensively since he came in? He's always happy to fire the puck.
Yeah, it's great. I think he's got a lot of confidence with his shot right now, and getting it by layers to get it around the net, and then even you see him scoring, just confidence to jump in the play when there's a chance to get rebounds, and that it looks like a simple goal, an easy goal, but for him to read the play where it develops and where the puck might end up on a rebound, it means a lot. And he's been able to click that way honestly all year so far. So it's fun to see that momentum. He's got such a steady defensive game. For him to add that, it makes him a really complete player.
What does it say about the D as a whole to be contributing offense every single game?
It says a lot. I mean, we haven't probably been contributing every game, but we'd like to try more. And I think it kind of starts with us defensively with our gaps. And if we can transition and get our forwards pushing offensively more, it allows those plays to open up. And then offensively, just doing a better job of getting our shots through and not blocked. And then when we do have space, trying to use the ice and use the blue line to skate and find our forwards to give them better looks.
There he is, Connor Murphy. Talked about Louis Crevier, and boy, of all the things I've been wrong about, it may be the wrongest I've ever been. that Louis Crevier was a throwaway 7th defenseman. You don't care if he sits for a month.
Yeah, but you weren't the only person saying
No,
that.
I know, but like
almost all of us did, and
it's incredible.
Yeah, and there, Crevier has some faults to his game. There's no doubt about that. But again, he's still a young guy learning. But you know, his eagerness to shoot the puck is fantastic. You know, and when he does, it gets on net in a hurry. You know, there's definitely some things that I'd still like to see him do, but he'll do that as more time passes, as he gets more comfortable out there. But what he's been able to do in the offensive zone is a huge surprise. I never thought that, you know, even when we had, you know, Crevier, oh, he's a stay-at-home big guy, defensive defenseman, and then you see what he's been doing this year, and you're like, oh, well, that's new, that's fun.
Well, he's got a great shot. He's, because of his size, he's able to recover quickly and get back. It's something that Jeff Blashill was talking about the other day. Where what was he talking about?
He's talking about Levshunov and Kaiser.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't mind them being aggressive in the offensive zone because he knows they can win a race back.
Yeah, and Crevier is sort of that way too. And the goal he scored is right on the doorstep. I thought, Mike, is that Bertuzzi? No, that's Louis Crevier in Bertuzzi's spot. Yeah. Poking the puck in the net.
Well, I mean, Crevier takes 2 strides and he goes from blue line to blue line, so it's pretty easy.
But I love too that you know, as we've talked in the last few shows about, I'm really glad to see the Hawks getting results from this winning hockey and actually getting wins, winning hockey, you know, coming into actual wins. This team that for a long time refused to shoot the effing puck is watching Louis Crevier shoot the puck every opportunity he gets, and good things happening.
That's been part of the recent uptick and why they've been winning games. They have been shooting the puck more. Before this winning streak, they were averaging 52, like just over 52 shot attempts per game. And tonight they had 56 shot attempts total. Bless you. I believe it's their 4th or 5th game over 52 and a half shot attempts. They had 60 something the other night. Not the Vegas game. What was the game before that? The Capitals. Yeah, they had 61. It was like their 6th best output of the year. So they are shooting the puck more, and not only are they shooting it more, but they're getting it on net more. They're not missing the net as much as they were earlier in the year. They had 56 shot attempts tonight and 35 on goal. So I mean, it's more than half. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think a lot of times too they were looking for the tip and they were looking for deflections and they were trying to make that perfect pass and just this entire, I don't know why it took Bedard and Nazar getting hurt for them to listen to Jeff Blashill. Like, I remember there was a game where like Tavo was, you know, dead to rights in the middle of the slot, wide open shot, and he passed it to literally no one, and Jeff Blashill called it nonsensical. And that was him fed up with the repeated lack of shooting from the team. I don't know why it took those guys going down for this team to learn that putting the puck on a net is a good thing, but they've learned it. That's what matters. They've learned it. It's working. They're getting results. I still am just stunned that we are seeing this level of hockey from this team right now, considering who they're missing. It's unreal. And what's cool about it is you've seen young guys. We already talked about more. Nick Lardis scoring goals. Artem Levshunov suddenly, over the last, 7 games or so, looks like a different guy, taking control, controlling the puck, dominant shifts, which is something you want to see from your franchise defenseman. All these guys now are taking the opportunity they've gotten in Bedard's absence to elevate their games. And I'm so curious to imagine what it's going to look like. And you said something before the show, like, watch, Bedard's going to come back. They're going to rely on him to do everything again, and it's going to look like it was before. I hope not. I hope that this lesson is learned and that they say, now we're a good team, we're playing good hockey, and now we're bringing back a generational talent and Connor Bedard and an MVP caliber talent. I cannot wait to see the game, hopefully Friday.
Yeah, it's like you just pulled off a huge trade at the deadline by being able to add a guy like Connor Bedard to your lineup. It's a great luxury to have. And again, hopefully this doesn't, change the mindset of everybody else. And I think you're mentioning all those young guys who have kind of stepped up over the last few games. That goes in hand with the veterans pulling their weight. And, you look since the holiday break, Tyler Bertuzzi's been awesome. Andre Burakovsky has been fantastic. He's got a 4-game point streak right now that he continued with his 11th career goal against the St. Louis Blues. You've got Teuvo Teravainen's been playing a lot better. Nick Foligno being back has shown you how valuable he is. Mikheyev and Dickinson have been so all those guys, raising the bar. It makes life easier for the young guys to just go out and do what they do. And you're seeing a guy like Oliver Moore be fantastic the last few games. Nick Lardis is doing what he does.
Got the TNT postgame interview, Oliver Moore.
Absolutely. Good stuff. I mean, that pass, Nick Lardis is scoring on the power play. He's scoring on shootouts. It helps. And a guy like Artie Levshunov can benefit from that too, knowing that he's got 4 other guys on the ice that are pulling in the same direction, and it allows him to be more comfortable because he's confident. As Jeff Blashill said, they're being predictable to each other. They know where everybody else is supposed to be. Everybody knows where they're supposed to be, and they're there. And that's the sign of a good coached team.
And we got to hit the brakes, and we will. Just real quickly, got to give credit to Wyatt Kaiser, who still a very young player, a inexperienced player, who has taken the task of, I will handle Levshunov. Kaiser strikes me as a guy who, when his playing career is over, will be front office, behind the bench, something. He's incredibly smart. He is a hockey geek in terms of like strategy, understanding the game. He is mature beyond his years in hockey sense and hockey knowledge. And he has taken that task of bringing Levshunov along in the NHL. Those two look great together. And what you're saying is Levshunov trusts him. He trusts Levshunov probably a little bit less than Levshunov trusts him. But the chemistry is good. They know what to expect from each other, and they look great as a tandem. Mario is standing by, so we're going to bring him in after the break. We'll hear from Jeff Blashill, and then later in the show, please stick around. You're going to want to hear what Harvey Wittenberg, 66 years with the Hawks, had to say about the late Glenn Hall, who passed earlier today. We'll be back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. Whether it's on the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. At Old National Bank, they believe every play matters. From everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking, their team is here to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. See all these sports references? You guys get it? Because it's a sports show. So whether you're celebrating a win, rebuilding after a tough loss, or gearing up for whatever comes next, they've got your back with tools, guidance, and an expert crew that's always in your corner. Trust Old National Bank. My family trusts Old National Bank. Yours should too. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. We want to remind you to become a CHGO diehard today and upgrade your fandom. Great written content, a free t-shirt. Get more info at allchgo.com. And we also want to let you know about our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Whether it's peak performance or becoming a better father, better husband, or better man, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey through personalized care tailored to your goals. Maybe you're middle-aged like me. Maybe your hair is thinning a little bit like mine. Maybe you want to lose a couple pounds like I do. Maybe you just want to be a better dude in general. Well, they've got you under control at Game Day Men's Health. It's a very quick and easy process. You'll be in and out of their clinic in about an hour. They've got personal care with family and locally owned clinics with a great high rate of success. That's what you want to hear. Feel better and have more energy with testosterone, vitamin supplements, weight loss, and hair loss treatments. It's time for you to start your best life with Game Day Men's Health. You can scan that QR code that's on your screen right now, or visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. Again, Game Day Men's Health at GameDayCHGO.com. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. We have 266 likes and way more than that in the live viewership. So please hit that like button. If we get to 300, we're hitting Noodle Man again. 400, 500, and so on. Every 100 Noodle Man gets activated. And get your votes in for our game puck nominees. We'll reveal the winner a little bit later in the show. But with that, let's bring in Mario Tirabassi from the United Center. He was in the victorious locker room and was there when Jeff Blashill spoke. Hello.
What's up, guys?
That was fun. Raucous crowd, especially for a late start. They were in it from the beginning. They were in it late. A 7-3 victory will do that. But, man, vibes solid all around the United Center.
Yeah, it's funny. I just saw Ben Pope's attendance tweet. It was actually the smallest crowd since October, 17,000 and change. But, I mean, you could have fooled me. I mean, it was a very into it crowd right away. Announcing the Blues starting lineup, I was just like, wow, okay, the crowd's got some juice. They were booing them pretty heavily, and I think there might have been some expectations for maybe retribution on Braden Shen. But if you've heard what the players said between the incident with Bedard a month ago and what the coaches have said and everything, didn't seem like that was going to be the case. But Blackhawks got some retribution with a 7-3 win. I mean, this is a game that wasn't perfect, obviously, but you saw the team give up the first goal on the first shot 27 seconds into the game, and then they just kind of settled into the game from there. It wasn't oh no, Spencer Knight doesn't have it tonight kind of situation, or they let one goal turn into two, turn into three. They were able to kind of settle things down. They didn't let the Blues dictate the rest of the game to them. Like, they were able to kind of find a way to get into their groove, into their game. And what was nice was just the special teams tonight was a huge difference maker. A perfect special teams night. Killing every penalty. You get a ton of power play goals, power play opportunities. You capitalize on them. Like, that's a recipe that's going to get you wins. And this team, the way that they've been playing, up and down the lineup, everybody's contributing. It's what we've been hoping to see from those guys, and be able to put together performances like this where you don't have to rely on one line or one player to drive you. Like, you can get it from all over the lineup.
Yeah, you get 7 goals from 7 different guys, and all different lines contributing, forwards, defensemen scoring. It is such a well-balanced attack right now, and especially offensively. There's really no, a lot of times you're like, all right, this line's going to go out there, and what they're going to do is win the shift by either getting out of the defensive zone and then getting a face-off in the offensive zone for the more, the top 6, top 9, whatever. You saw throughout this entire streak, by the way, you've seen the fourth line with sustained zone time. You've seen the third, it's happening night after night after night, and it just has to do with this system that Jeff Blashill's been preaching since day one.
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys are bought in. One of the interesting things that we heard from the players tonight, Jason Dickinson and Connor Murphy both said it tonight. You get into a groove with how weird the schedule is, especially in January, where it's so condensed because of the Olympics. You don't really have a lot of time, a lot of downtime. Like, it's games, a lot of back-to-backs. And this month for the Blackhawks, we have a lot of home games. So you kind of, it's benefiting them that they've, since the holiday break, gotten into a good groove of positive play. They're 5-1-1 over the last 7 games. And you're just kind of rolling game into game into game, and you're not really getting opportunities to get out of a groove. And it's kind of funny because Jeff Blashill all this season has kind of been talking about, we need some practice time to get back to our habits. Well, it seems like through this stretch where they're playing a lot of games and don't really get a lot of practice time, that they're staying within their habits. And this was a game tonight that was pretty evident of that. So when you have those guys bought in and you have them playing that style where you kind of simplify it more because you're not really getting a lot of time to work on a lot of stuff, you kind of just go to what works, you get results.
I think Blashill said that. Well, he said yesterday after practice, saying that a night like tonight is what you want because you've got to roll 4 lines when you play as many games as they are. Before, what is the Blackhawks have? Is it 16 games in 31 days between the holiday break and the Olympic break? I think
Something
that's
like that,
or 15 and 31. It's a lot. It's essentially playing every other day for a month. So yeah, you got to have all 4 lines contributing to survive a stretch like that, and we've been seeing it, and it's great to see. This team loses their top 2 centers, and all of a sudden they're as deep as they've ever been in the last decade. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot of credit goes to some of the guys that were put into elevated roles, like Ryan Green and Oliver Moore down the middle, specifically with both Bedard and Nazar out, and watching Oliver Moore play over this last stretch of games has just been a lot of fun to watch because you can just see how much confidence he's just building game after game, shift after shift. You saw it on the first goal the Hawks scored tonight on the power play. They get it into the offensive zone, and he's tapping his stick, looking for the puck from Matt Grzelcyk because he knows he can make a read and make a play, and makes the pass, cross-ice feed to Nick Lardis for the game's opening goal. Like, that's that kind of confidence that you don't necessarily see from a lot of rookies in the NHL, where they're, calling for passes, calling for the puck, wanting it on their stick because they know that they can make a play. And Jeff Blashill talked after the game about, Moore and how his game has developed this season and how much confidence plays into that for not just him, but for the rest of the group.
Starting to feel himself a little bit.
It's great. confidence is an amazing thing. And I think when you come into the league, coaches beat the confidence out of you, but rightfully so in a lot of ways. They got to learn to play the right way. You got to learn to kind of make corrections. And like him and I talked on the bench today, it's not about mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. About growing from those mistakes. And if we all grow from those mistakes, we just keep getting better. And ultimately, I think all these just continue to feel that confidence. And as you feel that confidence and you grow and you learn from your mistakes and you keep getting better and better, he's got a really good skill set, and I think that shows.
Confidence is not something lacking from Oliver Moore. And that pass is, if you're trying to illustrate it in one play, it's that pass to Nick Lardis on the power play goal. But just watch the kid play. He is fearless. He is, we've seen a lot of these guys come up and feel their way into the NHL. Oliver Moore was all gas, no brakes from the second he pulled the Warrior head over his head. Like, that's just how he plays. And I thought it was interesting, pregame today, Blashill was talking about him playing center and how it almost slows him down. It forces him to play at like a slower pace and use his speed more selectively.
He said that, like, when you're on the wing, you're pretty much just full blast all the way up the ice to get up the ice. But when you're at center, you're in the middle of the ice, so you can see the whole ice. So he can use a better the stop and go kind of thing, where he slows it down, sees the hole, boom, then hits the hole. Or when he's on the outside, it's just, I'm getting down the ice as fast as possible, because the difference between Oliver Moore on the wing and at center is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and he talked after the game about the comfort level that he has playing at center, and kind of to that point that Blashill was making that you're talking about, like Moore was saying that, like, the more responsibility that he has because he's playing center, feels like the game actually slows down for him and makes it easier for him, because he's a guy that, like, he's an excitable puppy, right? And so with all that energy and speed, if you put him on the wing, like, that's really the go-to for him. It's just like, be the fastest guy out there. And when you put him down the middle, like, you give him a little bit more that he has to think about and more that he has to process. He's still doing it at that top speed. So it allows him to kind of probably see a little bit more of the game. And as Blashill was saying, like, when you have the puck, when you have that speed, you can, down the center of the ice, like, hit the holes in the defense differently, because you can read it and react and play it differently. So it's definitely playing to the benefit of Oliver Moore, and it'll be interesting to see when Bedard and Nazar both are back, what they do at center. It's a good problem to have when you have too many centers, because it's easier to go from center to wing than, vice versa, or if you have a lack of depth at center. But Oliver Moore is really making a case that it's, if you want to get the best out of him, playing him at center is going to be the way to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how Blashill handles that.
Well, he's winning faceoffs. That's important as a center. He was 4-5 tonight, the worst on the team, but that's still on most nights the past couple of years, 44%. You're doing a victory lap.
Team leader,
and we see that he plays responsible as well. That stick lift on Braden Shen in the wide open net. That's a veteran play right there. That's knowing the situation, knowing what to do, and that's an instinctual hockey play, which is how guys like him need to play. So I never imagined that Oliver Moore, when they drafted him, I was like, yeah, I know he plays center, but with his speed, he's probably going to be a winger. But still a long way to go before we can declare, his career a success. But it definitely looks like playing down the middle is where he needs to be. But you're going to have some tough decisions to make. But those are tough decisions I think every coach wants. Too many centers is never a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the, the Olympic teams, a lot of times they'll have just a bunch of centers, and you move them to the wing and they figure it out, because if they're on the Olympic team, usually they're the best of the best. Just maybe not in Jordan Binnington's case.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys touched on that.
Yeah, we enjoyed that a little bit.
Did you guys see? Well, you were there. You were watching the broadcast. You saw Jim Montgomery go to pull Jordan Binnington, and Joel Hofer wasn't there. Oh my gosh, I saw that clip as we were waiting to go into the locker room. I couldn't believe it. That is just beautiful, just beautiful comedy. That's like a Office or Parks and Rec style of that's so good. That just made me so happy.
You almost need to Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song.
Over that clip. By the way, we spend a lot of time being critical of hockey broadcasts. Shout out to TNT for catching that, and Panger for being on top of it. ESPN would never have seen that. No, their cameraman's got his feet up.
ESPN would have been
smoking a
ESPN would have been too busy promoting the football game that starts in 20 minutes than talk about what's actually going on the ice.
So good. So getting back to the game a bit, I did want to play this clip from Jeff Blashill, because currently the Blackhawks are, when this game was over, they were 2 points out of a playoff spot, but they'll be 3 points out now because the Sharks and Kings went to overtime. But 5-1-1 over their last 7 games, still undefeated in 2026. So be prepared to keep raising that banner. But the style of play tonight, Jeff Blashill talked about how it's a style that can get you success in the playoffs. I don't want to start talking about the playoffs too much, but when you have a game like tonight, that's the style of hockey that finds success in March and April and into spring. So this is what Jeff Blashill had to say about it.
Talked about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously depth scoring is important. Just continuing to kind of. I thought we did a good job of. Honestly, I thought we did a really good job of competing. We weren't perfect in the game. We made mistakes, but I thought our compete level and our work ethic was really, really good. Those two things, and I just think, as we kind of went along, I thought we had some kind of identity type shifts, identity type goals. I think we've done a better job in O-zone play, which ultimately, if you want to win in the playoffs, like the NHL is a rush league in the regular season, it's an O-zone league in the playoffs, and so you have to be able to do both. And I think we're building some identity in the O-zone, so that's a positive thing, and a lot of those goals were because of that.
How many times did we hear over the last couple of years, to the point where we rolled our eyes every time we heard Nick Foligno talk about identity? It was nauseating. It's like, just stop. I don't want to hear that word anymore. I'm tired of it. This is what Nick Foligno has been talking about since arriving in Chicago. What you saw tonight, what you've seen since the new year, frankly, what you've seen since Frank Nazar went down, that is identity, that is character. that's what he's been looking for since joining the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting different. You're getting the personnel that you expect to have for the long term. More of them year over year, and laying the foundation and the groundwork for that identity and that culture and everything, and the environment that you want to have for those players to find success. Like that's been building, and it was hard to see through all the losses and the tanking and everything, but now you're seeing it, and it's also coinciding with not only the style of play and the culture, the identity the team wants to have with their core values on the ice and how they want to execute, but it's also you're seeing why Kyle Davidson drafted a guy like Oliver Moore, and gets a guy like Nick Lardis, gets a guy like Ryan Green. Because it's easy to draft Connor Bedard, right? Best player, that this organization has seen in a long time. But it's getting a lot of these other pieces, a lot of these other like identity pieces into the system, and guys that that this is the style that we want to play. This is a style that's going to win in the NHL, especially in the playoffs. These are the types of players we'll need once we get to that point. And there's still a lot of growth to go with those players, but you start to see those styles and those characteristics growing game over game with those young guys. So it's exciting.
I still think that Vegas game is the game that really got this team to buy in and realize, hey, if we play like that every night, we're going to win a lot more than we're going to lose. That's going to, we do a season review. I think that's going to go down as one of the most important games of the season, just how they won that game and then carrying it over into tonight.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right, Mario, we're going to spring it. We have a ton to get to yet, including we have a $100 super chat we've yet to even reference. So we will talk to you tomorrow at 3 when we are joined by Alex Vlasic.
Yes, looking forward to it.
All right, that is Mario Tirabassi from the United Center. Let's get to that $100 super chat, shall we, Chloe, before we move on to all of our other stuff? Oh, noodle time?
Noodles.
All right. Adrian with $100 says the Blackhawks out-tussled, out-muscled, and out-hustled the Dirty Blues. Thank you very much for the $100 super chat.
Thank you
from Adrian. Appreciate that big time. SVT Dan says playoffs, $2. Why not? $2.99 from Spicy J says, oh no, I'm late. I had to be there at 7 past Bennington. Thank you for the $3. Aaron, $5 says, shout out to Hofer for having created the best hockey meme of the year. True.
Yep. It's going to be out there for a while.
Karmalog, $5 says, best crowd I've been a part of in a long time. Cheering after every save, hit, chanting, less kids in the crowd. Late starts are great. That's an interesting angle.
That's your opinion. You're allowed to have it, regardless of how wrong it is. But no, I mean, I think obviously there was a little more juice in the crowd tonight because of what happened the last time the Blues and the Blackhawks played. They, wanting to beat them after, Connor Bedard got injured against them last time. There's a little extra energy for that, even though it was one of the smallest crowds in a while. God, who would have thought that a 9 o'clock
feel that small?
Who would have thought a 9 o'clock start on a Wednesday in January would not have attracted a big crowd?
Weird. Good energy though. They made up for it.
Good stuff.
In a United Center that can be a little quiet. Let's be honest.
It can.
Mike, $5 says, when Bedsy and Frankie are back, does Lardis get sent back down?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
no. I originally thought Lardis would just be here until Bedard came back, but he's such a weapon on the power play.
But when Frank's back too,
oh no, you have 6 really good players on your team. That's freaking terrible.
So Slaggert probably goes down.
Slaggert will go back down. I don't be surprised if Sam Lafferty is waived here
in a
little bit, and then you figure it out. I mean,
good problem to have.
Oh, exactly. Oh no, I have to figure out how to get all these really good players playing time. It's okay. It's far better than watching Jujhar Khaira play 17 minutes a night.
Come on.
Good guy.
Great guy. Handsome.
But I don't want him on my hockey team because that's a sign you got a bad hockey team when he's playing top 9 minutes.
That's correct.
We're past the days of having to watch a line of Colin Blackwell, Mackenzie Entwistle, and Reese Johnson play 13 minutes a night. Those days are over.
Do I need to find I have my Remember When folder.
So I wouldn't put Lardis down in Rockford. There's no like if he was struggling, sure, easy call. But he's been playing really well. He's becoming a weapon on the power play. He's your best shootout guy, and you may need those extra points down the stretch. He's done nothing to be demoted down to Rockford, in my opinion. But you never know. Figure out these things usually have a way of working themselves out where you get guys back and then somebody else is coming out of the lineup for other reasons.
Remember the deep pairs of Caleb Jones, Seth Jones, Jared Tenorti, Nikita Zaitsev. What was Roos's first name?
Philip
Roos and Ian Mitchell.
Yeah, well, that's how you get Connor Bedard.
Or the Andreas Englund, Caleb Jones, Isaac Phillips, Seth Jones, Jared Tenorti, Connor Murphy.
That's how you get Connor Bedard.
Oh, boy.
Feeling
All
that.
right, 2 more super chats real quick. Windy City Hockey, $2 says, will the Hawks end up adding a Glenn Hall patch? Probably. I would imagine so.
I think you have to get that approved by the league before you can go ahead and do that.
I would imagine.
So it might take a little while, but I'm sure they're not. There's no. I mean, with the Centennial patch, I don't know how many patches you're allowed. Maybe they'll put a sticker, probably a helmet sticker. My guess is a helmet sticker, like they did for Tony.
Oh yeah, that'd be easier to do.
He doesn't. Yeah. So that's my guess.
All right. And
then sorry, Windy City Hockey. You might have to buy a helmet with a sticker instead of a jersey.
That'd be cool. He'd wear a full uniform.
I'm sure he's got a few.
And Joey, $2 with the obvious chat of the day. St. Louis is boring and Green Bay sucks.
Those are both true statements.
Both are true, scientifically proven.
And I know we're excited, and I know everybody thinks, or I should say knows, that I almost finished that one, that Green Bay sucks. But, moment of silence is not the right time for that.
Yeah. If you are a person who shouts anything during a moment of silence, really reevaluate your life.
You're making poor life choices.
It's really about the lamest thing you can do.
I agree.
Are you that attention starved?
Apparently.
Yikes.
Somebody that probably types in all caps on social media.
I would assume so. And spells you're wrong. Okay. Chloe, do we have a game puck winner? Chloe's checking. She's summoning her microphone.
We do.
Who's the winner?
Are you ready? The winner is Oliver Moore. 72%, Spencer Knight 17%, Connor Murphy 12%.
All right.
You've done something well when you can beat a goalie in the game puck. By double digits.
Oliver Moore, a goal and assist, 2 points, was a -1 somehow. 14:37 of ice time, had 1 shot, 2 shot attempts, a takeaway, and he, like you said earlier, he won 4 and lost 5 faceoffs. Just a really solid, noticeable. A lot of the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. That is what Oliver Moore did. I'm looking at the screen right now. I got a lot of things to do. It's sports over everything and Blackhawks over everything and Noodle Man, and it's a whole thing. And now I got to pull up the.
Do you want to be like a better father and a better man?
I do, but I want to make sure I say it correctly.
Can't find the better man.
Yeah, it's not in there.
All right.
Oh wait, no, because the day changed. That's right. The day flipped over to the 9th. Here we go. Ready, everybody? The game puck.
Smooth as butter.
Sponsored by Game Day Men's Health. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. We talked a lot about Oliver Moore earlier. So with that, we're going to go to the Frat House so we can move on to hear from Harvey Wittenberg and what he had to say about Glenn Hall. Frat Boy today, we're going to give it to Landon Slaggert.
Why not? Might be their last chance.
That's
to give
right.
It to them.
A goal, an assist, 2 points, +1, 12:47 of ice time, 2 shots on goal, a hit, and a block shot. Dude works his ass off.
And a winning smile.
A winning smile. Fantastic guy. Domer, most importantly. Not sure what the future holds for Landon Slaggert in the coming days, but that is a dude you can call up, and he will give you every ounce of everything he has. And played a really solid game today. Has been really effective since his recall. And why are we so blessed? That's the question.
We've earned it.
Yeah, we certainly have earned it.
I have.
There's
I don't know
no
about you,
doubt.
but I
Well,
have.
maybe not. All right, so that is our featured frat boy today, Landon Slaggert. Really, really solid game from him. Okay, shifting. Tough day today in Hawksland. Blackhawks legend Glenn Hall passed away. I had the opportunity before the game to talk to Harvey Wittenberg, who I've been around the Hawks for a long time. I get starstruck around Harvey Wittenberg.
He's so good.
Because that was the voice of Blackhawks hockey for me growing up. It's Pat Foley, who I still am afraid to talk to, and Harvey Wittenberg, the PA announcer for years.
To play in the period.
66 years with the Blackhawks. This is his 66th season. So I said, who better to ask about Glenn Hall than Harvey Wittenberg? I pulled him aside in the press box, and here's what he offered about the late, great Glenn Hall. We got it ready? Let's do it.
It's a sad day. Glenn was the last player from the 61 Cup team. And, of course, he was an all-star and a very soft-spoken guy and a great teammate to the players. And, of course, he set a record 502 games in a row with not wearing a mask. And he's second in Hawks in shutouts behind Tony Esposito. And he developed the butterfly style in which Tony enhanced it. And he just, he's, I don't want to say he single-handedly won the 61 Cup team because it's a team effort. But the series was tied in 61 against Montreal, 2-2. And then we went up to Montreal, and Hall shut out the Canadians 3-0 and came back to Game 6 and shut them out again 3-0. And when we faced Detroit in the finals and we beat them in 5 games. And but his whole career, he was an all-star 7 times, and just a very quiet, soft-spoken guy. Nervous before every game. He was upset. And the Hawks presented him when he finished 502 straight games all without a mask, and before a game they surprised him, giving him a brand new car on the ice. We were playing Montreal, and it turned out to be one of Glenn's worst nights. The first shot on goal came from center ice from Jean Beliveau, an all-star and a Hall of Famer, and it bounced past him into net. We lost the game 7-3, but outside of that, he had a fantastic career, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's regarded as one of the 100 greatest players to ever play in the NHL.
As you said, the innovator of the butterfly. How quickly did you see that technique take over the league once he started using it?
Well, when he started using it, some of the other goalies started that a little bit, and then when Tony Esposito joined the Hawks in 69-70, Tony kind of enhanced on it, but Glenn was the innovator as far as I know.
All right, there he is, Harvey Wittenberg, absolute legend. I mean, seriously, 30 seconds before that, I asked him, he's like, yeah, let's go.
Sharp as attack.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I could listen to him talk hockey forever, and he's probably the most recognizable voice to me.
Yeah.
You can play him saying anything without a picture, and I go, that's Harvey Wittenberg, no doubt.
Yeah.
Love that he's still at every single home game. He's there. He's watching the game, and he'll tell you any story you want. Just awesome stuff. So thank you, Harvey.
We got to get him in here one of these, maybe during the Olympic break or in the summer or something.
Entire off season. Every day, just say, name a player.
Yeah.
We walk off set for an hour.
Yeah, right.
And just let him
tell
go.
us the story. It's
easiest off season ever.
It's crazy. And Domer says Lloyd Pettit's partner too, if I recall correctly. I do believe Harvey did do some play-by-play or color as well. No one knows the Blackhawks. Maybe him and Bob Verdi are probably the two authorities on the Blackhawks. And I tweeted this out earlier when I was writing my book a few years ago. I had a question. I can't remember what specifically it was, but I wrote Bob Verdi like, hey, I'm seeing this story, but I haven't heard it anywhere else. Do you know if this is true or not? He's like, give me 5 minutes. And then Bob Verdi calls me back. He's like, all right, I just talked to Glenn Hall. He said, yes, it's a true story and you can go with it. So it's just so cool that like I had 2 legends, in helping me on this little tiny little nugget in my book. That's my little connection to Glenn Hall, but obviously never got to see him play, but
it's a good source.
502 straight games. And listen, that means the backup did not play.
No, not just 502 starts. He played
every in a row.
Second.
502 consecutive hockey games.
And the only reason he missed the game was because of a back injury that was probably bugging him for 6 years before he finally came out. And then he only missed like 2 games and was right back in.
And threw up before almost every game because of the nerves. And you can understand why, because he's not wearing a mask for 502 consecutive games.
And it was rather appropriate. Sometimes the universe lines up, and it was rather appropriate that the Blues were in town the day that Glenn Hall passed away, because he was their first pick in the 1967 expansion draft. He was their goalie when they made it to those Stanley Cup finals in their expansion years. In case you didn't know, when they went from 6 to 12 teams, they kept the original 6 in one conference, and they put the new 6 teams, all not very good, in the other conference. So that's how the Blues got to go to the Stanley Cup final in their first couple seasons. But you look at those rosters, they had some amazing Hall of Fame names. They were all at the end of their career. They had Scotty Bowman as their coach.
Yeah.
He's the one, as Bijan, I believe he was the goalie that gave up the famous flying Bobby Orr goal.
Yes, that was him.
Just an amazing career, and always a guy that I never got the pleasure to talk to him or interview him, but every story I've ever heard, legendary goaltender, even better human being.
Yes.
Always had time, and every documentary that he's been a part of, I always was like, oh, they're talking to Glenn Hall. This must be an important documentary. There's that new documentary that came out a few months ago, Mr. Goalie. I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
Now's the time.
But definitely see if that's available. And just thinking of the Hall family, and I didn't realize that till Harvey said it, that he was the last player left from that 1961 team. That's
crazy.
It's definitely sad news, and a legend of not just the Blackhawks, but just the sport in general.
So you mentioned him going to the Blues in the expansion draft. Jeremy Rutherford of the Athletic, he covers the Blues for the Athletic, had this anecdote. He said Glenn Hall was purposely left off the Blackhawks protected list for the 67 expansion draft because he planned to retire. The Blues had to talk him out of retirement when they chose him with their first pick. Glenn Hall said, quote, "We talked about a contract. All of a sudden they were talking about money, and we didn't make a lot in those days, so I was very interested in coming to St. Louis." So Glenn Hall was about to retire. The Hawks left him exposed in the expansion draft, and he's like, they convinced me. I'm going to St. Louis.
What was that line from Goodfellas? Chuck Fee says one of Vezina in both Chicago and St. Louis. True. The Vezina was a little different, though, back then. The Vezina was automatically given to the goalies that gave up the fewest goals. Still a great accomplishment.
Yeah. Now Jennings is
Jennings. No, it's basically was the
lowest
Jennings
goals against combined now.
Something
like that.
But the Vezina was the same rules back then. It wasn't voted on, but that doesn't take away the accomplishments that he had. He was you don't get called Mr. Goalie by being average. You have Mr. Hockey, you have Mr. Goalie, teammates at one point. Glenn Hall started with the Detroit Red Wings and got traded to Chicago with Ted Lindsay.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, Detroit, it was almost like the Blackhawks with Hasek and Belfort. Detroit, Glenn Hall was expendable for the Red Wings because they have some guy named Terry Sawchuk playing goalie.
Right.
But I guess when there's only 6 teams in the league, everybody's got a
Hall of Famer, exactly. But rest in peace to Glenn Hall. It's very sad to know that entire 61 team is gone. But thanks to Harvey Wittenberg for taking some time on, I'm sure, a busy day and probably a sad day for him. Tough. Hawks win 7-3 over the Blues.
That makes it a little better.
It does. It softens the blow a little bit. Reminder, tomorrow we're back at 3 o'clock. We'll talk to Alex Vlasic. He'll be remote because tomorrow's an off day for the Hawks, so he doesn't want to come to the city, which I fully understand. So we'll talk to him at 3. And lots to talk about otherwise.
The drive in from Wilmette is rough.
Yes. Thanks to Chloe for running the show, as always. Thanks to Greg for being here. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.